In this how-to, I'm going to show you how to display when an alarm goes off in a few different ways in your graphic. So the first way I'm going to show you is just the basic turn your text to red when it's anything but normal. And then I'll get into how to have your text flash back and forth red and black when it goes off normal. Okay, so if I just create a new file, I'm going to start off with just some text. You can see I just have it red by default. If I pick an EV object, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bind this EV object to my text box and do a data mapping that says, in the case that the value of my EV object is anything but normal, I want it to be red. And if the value of my EV object is normal, I want to keep it at black. So I'm just going to bind the EV to the text right there, and then I'll bind the EV object to the font color. So from here I'm going to do a string mapping. So I'm just going to type out the word normal. If the value matches normal, I want it to be black. If it's anything but normal, so like off normal, in alarm, high priority, something like that, I want it to be red. And that's it. So if I just make this say, normal and go invoke, you can see that it changes to black. That's pretty straightforward. Okay, so if you want your text box to flash a color just so that your user can really see that something has gone wrong, there is quite a few more steps to this, but this is something that you're just going to create once and then convert it to a symbol and just reuse it over and over again. Okay, so insert component text. I'm going to bind my EV object just to the text so I can see the current value. So on this text box, I'm going to right click data flow. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the stopwatch component. What this stopwatch is going to allow me to do is change the color in 1 second intervals. So if I just enable this timer, set the interval at 1 second, you can see that my output is going up every 1 second. So what I want this to do is I actually want the output to show 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. And then from there I'll bind it to the font color and have the color change every 1 second. So in order to do that, I want to use the modulo property. What the modulo property is when you give it a value, it'll make the output the remainder of a division statement. So if I change the modulo to 2, every 1 second the stopwatch is dividing its current time by 2, which gives you the remainder of 0 and 1 every 1 second. Again, this is quite a few steps, but this is something that you're just going to do once and reuse over and over again. So from here I'm going to bind the output to the font color. And what I need to do is I need to hold control because I'm having a number property affect to color property, so I need the binding menu to pop up. So currently I'm holding control. So I'm going to select a number mapping and say, in the case that the value of my output is 0, I want it to be black. Make sure you do it in this order, because if you do it the other way around it won't work, because these case statements mean this number or lower. Okay, so if it's not 0, it's going to be 1, so then the color is going to be red. And go OK. So now you can see that the color is changing every 1 second. So the last thing I need to do here is actually have the EV object control the timer. Control the stopwatch. So now I just bind EV3 to enabled. What I want to do here is I want to make the value normal. Normal is going to be false, and if it's anything but normal, the stopwatch is going to start. So by going OK, you can see that the stopwatch hasn't started yet because the current value is normal. If I change the value to off normal, you can see it starts to flash. And I hear the alarm sound. So if I change this to normal, it's going to stop flashing. But you'll notice that I'm actually hanging on to the red color here. I need to somehow reset my stopwatch so it starts back at 0 every time it goes back to normal so that I don't get stuck on red. I want to be stuck on black. So if I bind the EV object to reset, and I say in the case that my object value is normal, I want to reset it. And then if it's not normal, I'm not going to reset it. It's just going to do what it's going to do. So if I go OK, set it to off normal, starts flashing, alarm sound goes off, and go back to normal, and it stops flashing. And that's how you do alarm annunciation in IntelliViz HTML5.